Section 3. Business Culture. Upon completing this section, you should have a basic understanding of business cultures in Southeast Asia. Though business practices are diverse, there is some common knowledge that can help you to conduct business successfully in this region. The primary foundations of business culture in Southeast Asia are based on connections made through family, race, nationality, and religion. The complexity of this business environment requires time for foreigners to make personal connections and become experienced in doing business in this region. In this section, you will learn about normal business practices in the following areas: meetings, dining out, what to wear, and ways to improve business success. The way that Southeast Asians greet one another is influenced by their religions. For example, Muslims in Malaysia greet people with a handshake and a warm smile. After the handshake, they will touch their chest with their hand to show the greeting is from the heart. You should note that as Muslim culture is quite conservative, Muslim women may not be willing to shake hands with a male. Followers of Hinduism may greet you with a namaste, holding both palms together at chest level and giving a slight nod or bow. Chinese business people usually accept a handshake with a warm smile. However, despite the influence of religion on greetings, different countries may have evolved different greetings. For example, in Thailand, people developed a greeting, the Wai, which is similar to Namaste except the position of the hands is higher. After the greeting, business people tend to exchange business cards. In Southeast Asia, most people value business cards, titles, and protocols. The process of presenting and receiving the cards should be conducted in the appropriate manner. Usually people use both hands to present and receive cards to show respect. After receiving a business card, do not put it away. You should keep it where you can see it for the duration of the meeting to remind your business partners that you value and respect them. People in this region may show up late for meetings. You are expected to be punctual to show respect. However, in Singapore, punctuality is very important. When setting up a meeting, it is important to pay attention to several factors, but especially the local habits that may influence meeting times. For example, in Malaysia, Brunei, and Indonesia, lunch breaks tend to run long. Thus, an afternoon meeting may not be a good idea. A few religion-related customs should be noted. Muslims do not eat pork or drink alcohol, and the Hindus do not eat beef. The Chinese eat both pork and beef, and they drink alcohol too. Never use your left hand to serve food among Malays or Indians. When dining with Muslims, it is important that you try a bit of everything, but you should not eat all of the food that is placed before you. You will be considered overly eager if you do so. Although these guidelines may not always hold true, it is still useful to know the ethnicity of your business partners when inviting them to dinner. Southeast Asians talk about business during breakfast, lunch, or dinner. However, there are some differences across countries. In Malaysia and Brunei, it is unusual to have a breakfast meeting in the early morning, while in Indonesia, breakfast meetings start as early as 6:30. However, Indonesians prefer not to conduct lunch meetings. Business people in Singapore, Thailand, the Philippines, and Vietnam often enjoy building relationships with their counterparts over the dinner table. For most business situations in Southeast Asian countries, standard business attire is acceptable. A suit and tie for a man, and a suit, dress, or blouse and skirt for a woman are appropriate. However, business women do need to pay attention to religion-related dress codes. Most Muslim countries are conservative when it comes to women's attire. Therefore, Western business women are expected to cover their arms and legs. Continuing with David's story, when David finally went to the restaurant and decided not to worry about the hole in his sock, he became optimistic about the sale. Now he was expecting to close the deal at the end of dinner. As expected, Mr. Mohammed promised that he would make an order in 1 week and send David the contract as soon as possible. David felt so happy that when leaving the restaurant, he shook hands with everybody to show his thankfulness. When he came to Mr. Mohammed, David used both hands to hold Mr. Mohammed's hands to show his thanks to him. David was confident that he would receive the contract within 10 days. Unfortunately, he has still not received anything from Mr. Mohammed. What could have gone wrong? Be sensitive to diversity. Never talk about politics, religion, human rights, or a local prime minister. Be aware of the differences among peoples within this region and the differences between you and the people living in Southeast Asia. Plan for holidays. Know the holidays in Southeast Asian countries. Pay special attention to the Muslim observance of Ramadan, which lasts 1 month and influences business activities. Building personal connections with local business people is always a good way to start your business. Good relationships also help to ease the locals' perceptions of you, in particular of any misbehavior derived from a lack of familiarity with the local environment. Be humble in manner, watch your language, and show your respect. Most Southeast Asians are humble and self-effacing. You are expected to behave in the same manner. Eye contact is also viewed as impolite in Southeast Asia, and so you should try not to make, or expect to receive, much eye contact when conversing with Southeast Asians. By now, you should have a basic understanding of the business culture in Southeast Asia. You should also have a sense of the diversity of the business culture and know some of the key factors that have a major influence on local business culture in each country.